I wanted to make this video something that I realized last night that God showed me in my mind. He gave me these thoughts, and this was quite incredible to figure this out. If we go ahead and look at some notes I made here, if we look at God the Father when He spoke in the New Testament, the two times that I've noticed that He speaks is at the baptism of His Son, and then at the Mount of Transfiguration, when some of the disciples there, were shown like kind of like a an example of what the second coming was going to be like. When the Son was going to be in all of His glory, we're going to see Him as He really is. But then all the angels were there, and then so was Moses and Elijah. And the reason why Moses and Elijah were there, well, they came to talk to Jesus to strengthen him. But you guys know what's funny? Moses would represent the resurrected, the general resurrection that's going to take place at the second coming. All those that are dead in Christ, in the grave, are going to be resurrected. But then the people that are alive, we can read this in 1 Corinthians 15:51 through 53. The living are going to be caught up. They're going to be translated to heaven. They're never going to die. That's the two groups of people represented with Moses and Elijah. So I want to read these three verses, and I want to show you, I want to document this on what God revealed to me. So let's look at God the Father speaking while His Son was on the earth. Matthew 3:17 says, "And lo, a voice from heaven saying, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.'" So God gave testimony and witness that Jesus Christ that was on this earth, He was His beloved Son. Okay, He was His actual Son. We've already been through the scriptures that he was born of God in heaven. Let's look at Matthew 17:5. It says, "While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them." What's that cloud? That's the angels. "And behold, a voice out of the cloud, which said, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him.'" Notice how God the Father is telling the disciples to listen to Him. Because some of them they weren't listening to Jesus, because who was it? Peter, and I don't know if any other disciples, but they were rebuking Him, telling Him, like, look, that you're not right. That's not going to happen. And they were trying to tell Him what's going to happen. And Jesus is like, look, I'm the Son of God. I already know what's going to happen. My Father taught me. So I'm telling you what's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? How often do we do that? We're like, no, that's not true. This is what it means. No, God tells us what all things mean. We either listen or we hold on to our own beliefs. So it's incredible. But let's continue. Let's look in 2 Peter 1:17. I believe this is the Mount of Transfiguration that he's talking about here. And it says, "For he received from God the Father honor and glory, when there came such a voice to him from the excellent glory, 'This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.'" I'm outside, sorry about the truck noise. So if we go ahead and let's look at Matthew 24:36. This is talking about the second coming. "But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only." And this is funny here, because I believe I've seen this before, that this verse is supposed to say, no one knows the day or hour, but of that day and hour knoweth no man. It's supposed to say, maketh known. Basically, the Father is going to make known the day and the hour. And I read this in Ellen White, but I don't have the reference on hand. I'll have to find it. But God the Father is going to speak to the people on the earth, and they're going to hear his voice again. And he's going to tell them the day and the hour when Jesus is going to be here to pick them up. So this has to happen after the sealing, after the close of probation. The rest of the world is just going to hear thunder. They're not going to hear God's voice. But and I'm hoping I'm going to be one of them, we're going to hear God the Father, his actual voice, speak from heaven. And that makes perfect sense, you guys, because think about it. At the second coming is when he is going to speak. So the ones who are dead are going to hear, and the ones who are alive are going to hear. And this makes sense, because think about this for a second. He spoke in the New Testament at the baptism, and we know baptism represents the newness of life. That would represent the resurrection, the old man becoming the new man. Okay, so it represents the resurrection. And then the Mount of Transfiguration represents the living that are going to be translated. Okay? So you got the resurrected and the translated. Well, when are both those groups of people going to be together? At the second coming. When the dead are raised in Christ, resurrected, and all the living are going to be translated. Well, that would make sense that that's when God the Father is going to speak. That's because he spoke during those two times. So he's going to speak again. It's so cool how you put that together. And I don't want to mess it up too much, but that from what he showed me, that's why he's going to speak. I caught that, and I'm like, wow. I made another note here. I just put on here. This represents the resurrection and translation. Okay, we've been through that. The Father is going to speak again to tell us the day and hour that his Son will be here to pick us up. And I put, wow. I mean, it's incredible. God sent his angels to me. Oh, I just made a note of the angels came to me and brought me that information. So yeah, I just wanted to make a quick video on that. I want to say if anybody else out there, if you stumble across this, you can let me know if you've ever seen that before, because I thought that was so amazing when I caught that last night. So, all right, that's it for this video, you guys. I just wanted to get that up. So I will see you guys soon, and God bless.